people were always surprised by that. But after doing what they had to do in San Francisco, they went back to Hong Kong, and that's where Bruce was raised. And he also did some he was a childhood actor for a while, and didn't pick it up until later.
Kareem, how did you actually meet Bruce Lee?
I met Bruce, I was studying martial arts. I'm from New York. I was home for the summer and I started studying martial arts. And when I came back to go to school in the fall of my junior year, I wanted to continue in addition to everything else that I was doing. So I went to the offices of Black Belt magazine and spoke to the editor, Mr. Uyahara, nice guy. And he told me of the names of the places for the style that I had been studying. But he said, you might want to study with this guy, Bruce Lee. He's really interesting. He's different, but a lot of people say a lot about him. So he gave me his phone number, I called him, he said, come on up to the house. And I went, and because I had been studying, he said, show me what you got, you know? Punch and kick this bag. He had a heavy bag, and I punched and kicked it. And then he said, well, this is how you kick. And he told me to stand behind the bag and put my weight into it. And he was going to kick it. And when he kicked it, I went flying away. The force he put it into it with his kick was ridiculous. And I said, hey, I got to learn how to do that. And he said, well, you know, it's going to take you a while. And then he had his wife come out. And then he said, stand behind the bag. Brace yourself, and she kicked it, and I went flying. Kenneth Clark, who's a sociologist, and Dr. Clark had thought up a program to involve young people in their teens and get them to look at what's coming, the next part of their life. How are they going to end up? Are they going to end up on drugs or a criminal? Or they're going to end up with a good job and a good life. And he thought that getting to kids while they're still in their earlier teenage years was the best way to guide them to do a lot better with their lives than was happening because of all the social forces that affect young black kids. So I was in a journalism workshop, and they picked me to cover Dr. King because Dr. King was coming to address all the kids that were taking part in the program. So Dr. King spoke to all of us, and then he had about 6 or 8 reporters following him everywhere because that was close to the time that he became Man of the Year. So all the other journalists, they got in the room before I did. I had to wait. But I finally got a chance to talk to Dr. King. And I just asked him if he thought the program was going to work. And he told me it's already working because you guys are already thinking about stuff that you need to think about. And that was my headline. I got a chance to write about that. And that whole experience had someone really got me to the point where I felt that I could write and represent myself and my thoughts in a competent way. And that's why I started pursuing my writing career. So, I said, hey, we said, hey, Ali, he acknowledged us, but he kept up his act. And,
Where was this taken, Kareem? Where was that taken?
that was taken at a party that I can't play the drums and Muhammad Ali can't play the guitar. But the Jet magazine photographer said, hey, this will make a great picture. When Cory Booker did that speech for 25 hours, one of the things that he said that really got to me, and but it explained a whole lot to me, was that this is a moral moment, and Trump, his morality doesn't really exist. Everything is a practical attempt to beat somebody for some money, and you know that's not going to be a good thing for our country. So, like a lot of you, I'm very concerned.
When you think about overlooked groups that face discrimination, I know we've talked about women, but what about seniors, Kareem? What do you think about seniors being discriminated against? And what do you think?
I think for seniors, they're viewed as being over the hill and with nothing to offer. You know, they're just supposed to be at home taking a nap. That's not it. Our older people have so much wisdom and experience, we can't just ignore them. They have a very valid viewpoint, and they're affected by all of this too. So you have to give them a means. You know, a lot of them aren't mobile. They can organize a van to come pick up the elderly people who are not that mobile, and they can go to meetings. They can make calls. They can talk to the groups that they know and share their knowledge and wisdom. And if they do that, I think they'll be very satisfied because they know that they're contributing to the fight against all this, I guess, fascism that's trying to force its way into our nation.
You know, Kareem, you're 70.